spent a fair bit of time around the water, but never done any sea kayaking. That was just cool, just to have a different sort of perspective on it and how close you can get to rocks, and it seems like a good way of transport.
I enjoyed going out into the rougher parts of the ocean, like outside Fortescue, and just sailing in rougher waters.
From my perspective, this trip was really mainly about a learning experience, and the whole concept of it was, well, okay, you guys are keen for a sea kayaking adventure. Let's try and set a goal and, as a group, make decisions along the way that are going to keep us safe, but are going to try and achieve something reasonably significant.
Second day, when it was so flat and calm, and you could see the bottom of the water, that was pretty specky.
So if there's not much wind, we'd be better off trying to get out into where we might think there's some wind and then use that.
To tell you the truth, I actually was expecting the weather to be a lot worse. I thought we'd get a lot more wind and rain, and I think we're really privileged on the second day to get all that sun. I mean, coming through here, through Dun Alley, was really, really quite nice, and we got really flat water, and it was mill pond. Yeah, it was awesome.
The best thing about the trip for me was the just in here at Dun Alley, just the Narrows and looking down. It was pretty specky when we came through here, and then we got out there, and it was pretty flat, and it was really nice.
My favourite part was probably the second day, where we went from Lime Bay to the entrance to the Narrows, because it was just an absolute beautiful day and great kayaking.
The goal of knocking to Mariah definitely affected the motivation of the group.
Changing goals can be really tricky, or when you have this idea in your mind of what the trip's going to be and it's different to that, it can be very, very easy to lose motivation.
And the goal was sort of to get to Mariah. And it was interesting that once we abandoned that plan of getting to Mariah, the motivation sort of came off from the group.
I think if we kept going through to Orford, we would have seen a lot different coastline to what we ended up seeing. It would have been lots more of just like Norfolk Bay, really, just fairly sheltered, not very exposed coast. Going down to Fortescue and poking our nose around the corner and sort of getting into some pretty more wild coastline, that was pretty good.
No, then it's still going.
The part where we went outside of Fortescue into the open areas was probably my favourite part of the trip. Well, our plan to get to Mariah didn't end up happening because of the wind.
To sort of get a glimpse of what it'd be like if you were doing some major kayaking expedition, like those two fellas who went from Australia to New Zealand. Well, when we went out in the open water in Fortescue, that was pretty fun with all the swell.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed going out Point Dolomieu. That was my highlight, going out a bit into the waves and stuff.
I enjoyed going outside of Fortescue and just seeing what it would be like out in the open ocean.
Guys, I reckon start your turn and then go right, so turn around to the left. Big sweeps on the right, hold up, max. Big forward sweep in the front, let's go, quickly. Okay guys, in turn here, forward, reverse forward. Well done guys. Good.
I enjoyed kayaking in the open sea, like around the point with the big waves.
Yeah, you don't get much from Spotify tools.
My favourite part would have probably been, going out of the open areas of Fortescue and also going in between all the nooks and crannies of the cliffs, getting up close.
Okay, rudders up, one at a time in.
I think walking out to Cape Hoy was one of the best things we could have done because we looked out down the coast and it was rough and terrible and disgusting, and then we looked into Fortescue and it was calm and sheltered and nice. So it's to go out to Cape Hoy and look at completely different scenarios, like you could see it in your peripherals, was pretty educational, I reckon. I think it's good to learn that sometimes you can't do the goal, so it's good to learn that you don't have to just keep going. It's good to pull out and stop and say we can't actually do it, like it's suicidal, and change plan. It is annoying, but yeah, it's good to learn that things can't always be done.
I think because things didn't work out so well this week, that's an interesting reflection on risk and how we were assessing risk. And so there's so many factors that go into how you assess risk. And so hopefully you guys got a bit of an insight of that this week and saw that some of the decisions were made to try and mitigate the chance of something happening. So I think that was a big part of this week, thinking about making good decisions in the outdoors, looking at the possible outcomes.